Welcome to iHeartGeek.
And welcome to another episode of iHeartGeek.
Are you darkness? Are you the night?
I am the vigilante.
Christian Bale, when did you show up?
No, that was Michael Keaton.
Dub.
That was more
If it
Michael
were Christian
Keaton.
Bale, it would have been like, and welcome to another episode
All right.
of
This is
iHeartGeek.
terrible. Okay, yeah.
You have all failed this podcast.
I'm taking matters into my own hands. And welcome to another episode of iHeartGeek.
So we are talking Vigilantes today. This episode is going to be an absolute blast.
Sweet justice.
Before we introduce everybody, iHeartGeek today is brought to you by dark and brooding justice that stomps a mud hole into the notion of getting over it. I like that. That's good.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wrote that one myself in a matter of
Minutes.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd drink that.
Ooh, you drink that mud hole.
Yeah.
Ew. So I'm dubbing.
Mud slide. There you go.
I'm dubbing you. I'm your producer/director. Can I say that now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. And I wanted to let's talk to our panel. First off, to my left.
I'm Miss Geeky Paige. I'm the Instagram girl, and I am the knight.
Nice.
Good? Yeah?
That was not scary, but it was really cool.
Dang it.
No, that's kind of like Hello Kitty. I am the knight. Okay, and I'd like the introduction to you, both you and your special friend.
Yes, of course. Yes, I'm Sean, but I'm not actually on the panel. Who was invited to the panel is actually my beard, and my beard is everyone's Patronus.
Oh, ooh, that's good. I want that to be my Patronus. Sean's beard is my Patronus. It's glorious.
Okay.
Expecto Patronum.
I will consent if people actually post that they would buy that as merch. I will consent to that being on a T-shirt. Sean's beard is my Patronus.
Oh, man.
Oh, please tell if you guys.
iHeartGeekshow.com.
You know what?
babies.
Let's say if 15 people will tell me they will buy that, I will have the shirt made within the month.
I'm looking at you, Tim Burris.
I promise you.
That is awesome. I love it. My name is Kaj. I'm your friendly neighborhood Kaj. And who am I?
You're the guy.
I'm the guy. I am the law. That's what I am. I'm the law.
Are you darkness?
I am
That was scary, wasn't it?
No.
darkness. I am the night. I'm your father. No,
No, wrong show.
No.
We're never.
This is going to be one of those
We're never gonna get
episodes.
through
never
this.
getting through this episode.
No.
You like the dark? I was born in the dark. No,
Okay, Mr. Wizard.
Oh my god, that was the best Bane ever.
All right.
That was pretty
And,
good. I will give credit.
and PB and Vengeance.
He's Venom.
PB means public brutality.
I am PB&Jason. I am the wizened old vigilante of this show.
You like Kingdom Come Batman?
I'm the Kingdom Come Batman. I'm the mentor to younger vigilantes that go out there and do the real work while I sit and massage my back.
So, you're the second oldest guy that is a part of iHeartGeek officially.
I know, but Todd is not a regular guest.
But he is.
Well, he's on every show.
Yeah.
I was going to just call you Old Man Jason.
Oh.
That sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain.
It is.
And he would have gotten away with it, too, if it wasn't for you.
It wasn't the
geeky
demon.
podcasters.
It was Old Man Jason who was on the podcast.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's get back
And
on
I
the
would have
rails.
got away with it, too, if it weren't for that polar bear.
Let's remove these headphones and see who's under here.
It's Todd!
Oh no.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what we're supposed to be talking about for whatever reason, because we're tending to go off the rails a little bit in the last couple episodes.
Scooby-Doo episodes? Is that what we're talking? No.
No.
Okay,
Well, you
Action.
know what? Can I say this? Would Scooby-Doo be a vigilante?
I was about to ask that because, I mean, they're going against the law. They're not using the police to...
But they
They call the police at the end.
I think they kind of are.
They investigate, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, they're
So I don't
more
think
like
they're vigilantes.
detectives.
They're
Yeah, I was going to
detectives.
say, they're like, I wonder
They're
if
within
they're
the law.
licensed detectives.
A bunch of kids in a van? Probably not.
with a lot of Scooby snacks.
Hey, a bunch of kids in a van can now be ordained ministers, so
That's
it's not that far of a stretch.
It's very true.
So yeah, they're detectives. So no, they're not vigilantes.
That is a really interesting question because if you look at the definition of vigilante, it actually every superhero is a vigilante because they act outside of the law, according to the actual definition. So I'm curious, like for today, what do you guys think a vigilante is outside of the Webster definition?
Well, that would just segue into a good part of like what's the difference between an anti-hero and a vigilante?
Mm-hmm. Well,
see down your list. That's way down here.
Well, he brought it up, so
Sorry, just say it.
He's taking matters into his own hands.
He's
going
taking the law into
vigilante.
his own
Going
hands.
rogue.
Okay. Well, my thoughts on as far as this episode go, for me anyway, when I'm discussing a vigilante versus anti-hero, whatever, but a vigilante is someone that is going off of emotion. You know, you heard vigilante justice. Oh, you know, what's his name killed the little boy down the street, so we're all going to go vigilante justice and kill him, do a mob vigilante justice. It's all on emotion. It's not... It's what you think is right at that moment and having no logic to it, and it is just because it's what you have to do.
Yeah, I
That's
get
my
that.
thought on vigilante.
I get that. It's like if it was a Dungeons and Dragons character class, you know, they have like the quote for what that
Chaotic
character
good?
class. Yeah, well, no, the quote for what that person would say. You know, it would be like I took matters into my own hands. You know what I mean? And that's emotionally driven. So I'm with that. I'm with that definition.
I kind of have it as an anti-hero is somebody who, like, well, even I would even say probably arguably that Superman could be considered an anti-hero now, especially with Zack Snyder having him kill Zod. Then like anti-hero has. There's the hero, which is kind of like Superman. Anti-hero like Batman, who will do things that maybe not necessarily be moral, but they will still be in the confines of the law. Like they don't cross that line. They don't kill. They don't.
But
you know,
morals kind of a weird word. Because everyone can have different morals.
But then vigilante just has no rules. Like he just does whatever he needs to do to get
Emotionally
the
what
job
they need
done.
to do.
Yeah.
I think the best way to describe anti-hero, this is what I was doing when I was looking this up, is there's a quote by Frank Miller. It's about the anti-hero. It says, "The anti-hero is a knight in blood-caked armor. He's dirty and he does his best to deny the fact that he is a hero the whole time. Whereas a vigilante doesn't necessarily have to be a hero."
They just want to get the job done.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So basically what we're all
Batman,
saying.
Oliver Queen, they're heroes by the definition that they are doing good, but an anti-hero doesn't do that. So, like, if anybody's seen the movie The Maltese Falcon or read the book The Maltese Falcon, Sam Spade is an anti-hero. He's not a good person. He does not do good things throughout the whole time. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I was going to add to that, very close to that. I think that a vigilante is someone who takes the law into their own hands because they think they will handle the situation better than the law. They could be good or evil. They tend to be more good. Anti-heroes to me are not good. Actually, quite opposite. They're pretty much villains who...
Do you want to cheer for?
Well, they end up doing heroic things under some sort of code. And that's my little take on it too, I guess.
Okay.
So, well, going back into, you know, the origins of pop culture history, I mean, we can start with Robin Hood and Zorro, because that's kind of the two most well-known original
Yeah,
vigilantes.
they would be in pop culture for sure.
Well, what, you know, even if that far back, you know, it was appealing to kids and adults alike, what makes that kind of justice appealing?
Robin Hood dates back to the 1100s. And, I mean, I think...
Because that means it's always been appealing.
And I think a lot of the appeal of the vigilante is when people are stuck in times of strife and trouble, they have to look up to someone and they need a hero to look up to because it helps them get through the hardships of their own day. That's why Robin Hood was created. That's why Zorro showed up. That's why Batman, Superman, and superheroes in general showed up at the times they did, is because, like, especially during that time, it was World War II. There was a lot of bad going on in the world. So these characters were created to be better than the situations they were in at the time. So, like, with Robin Hood, you had the Crusades. King John wasn't really that bad of a a king, but we won't go into that.
According to the story. Let's
Yeah, according to the story, he's a terrible, terrible person. There was a lot of bad things going on, and so they created this character of Robin Hood to kind of escape. Because they could all be Robin Hood in their head when they were hearing these stories. Same things with Odysseus. It was a way to have an adventure.
Yeah, I think as well, I love all of that, and I totally agree with it. And I think as well that the appeal also comes from the fact that we all desire at some point in our lives, some more often than others, to do what the vigilante does. And we understand that you can't do that. And so
You mean be anti-authoritarian?
Yeah. But I mean, we get the opportunity to scratch that itch, to live vicariously through them, and we enjoy that idea. So I think that it facilitates the daydream, you know?
And just to add on to that as well, I think people are appealing to you're in control, even if it if you have a problem, the police come in, they can't do anything about it when you know it's clearly they did something wrong, but the police can't do anything. You want to take control of something, and it might not just, like, people have a problem with authority as well too. They don't like to be told what to do. They don't like to have things out of their control, and watching somebody take control of a situation where they know that they're right. And just even Schadenfreude, just seeing people get their comeuppance on what, it could be somebody that's done something for years, and then finally somebody's like, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to exact my own kind of justice. Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially in today's society, we've all seen the law fail and fail and fail and fail. To a lot of people, and we're not going political on this, but to a lot of people, it feels like the bad guys get all the breaks, that it's the deck is stacked against the good guy. That's why vigilante, having that fantasy and that escapism, is so important. Because I think if we didn't have that escape, I think we'd be in a lot of trouble as a society. I think this serves a huge purpose.
I think we'd have more people doing what the actors are doing in the movies for real. Right.
I mean, they're not going to be throwing their batarangs, but there's going to be some dead people in the streets.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then, that's then the decline of society.
And I mean,
so this is they're really more important than I actually really thought about until right now.
There's something really satisfying too about watching a hero, even a vigilante, like watching Batman nab the Joker. There's something very satisfying about the quote unquote good guy taking down the bad guy. And that's what you get with this kind of stuff. Even though what they may do, sometimes vigilantes may do, is kind of morally gray and ambiguous, it's still a lot of fun to see them.
That's the other cool part.
Yeah, it's fun to see them take down the bad guy.
It's against the law.
Yeah.
The law is out to get them, and they're still able to
get the bad guy.
And it's also like there are certain constraints that heroes are faced with,
right?
That they can't do it in this way, or they can't do it, if they're
'cause
lawful
of
good.
self-imposed, yeah,
if they're lawful good, they can't. There's things they can't do. Where all of a sudden so this person is not getting their comeuppance, and all of a sudden there's this archetype that gets to go. I don't care what the law says. What they're doing is bad, and that has to stop. And I think we love that.
Well, that's where there's kind of an interesting character study between Batman, who's very limited to, he's going to catch the Joker and he's going to give him to the authorities, and he's going to break out and he's going to do it again, kill a bunch of people. And then you have the other side of it, which would be, the Punisher, who, well, you're not going to have that problem because he's going to kill him.
Well, I was
a problem done.
I was going to throw this out to you because it's actually a good juxtaposition with each other. Red Hood, like under the Red Hood, Batman, Red Hood wanted to kill, or Jason Todd wanted to kill the Joker because of what he did to him, and Batman was like, "No, because if I go down that path, I won't stop." And it's a good comparison of this is what Batman would have been if he would have just crossed the line.
And those two characters are a good example of a vigilante in Batman and an anti-hero in Jason Todd.
And in mine, I would have switched. I would have put Batman as the anti-hero and Jason Todd as the vigilante.
Okay.
Yeah.
Batman, I think, straddles both.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Batman straddles both the title of vigilante, obviously, but he also straddles the title of anti-hero.
He's the archetype.
Yeah. I
However,
mean,
he
there have
works
been
with the
more,
cops.
but it's...
And it depends on
yeah,
who's writing him
it's-
too. Yeah,
yeah,
because
I mean, I
sometimes he
think-
gets darker, sometimes
think
If
he
he's
doesn't.
Miller.
And especially, if you think in terms of the Miller incarnation of Batman, he's definitely both.
True.
Oh, wow. Let's go on to the game show because we are not going to get out of this ditch.
No.
Here's a generic game show for you.
Okay, we have on this episode a very hard game show by our buddy Kaj.
You know what? I don't think this is going to be as hard as you guys think it is.
We already took it. Yes, it is.
but you guys had some fun with it too. Like you were
Yeah.
smiling with it too. So I took it a couple of steps down from the director's one. So director one's coming up first, right? Okay, good.
Yeah, remember last week? Yeah. We're still angry.
All right. So
Sorry.
question number one, which is, well, I guess I should keep score.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah, might be a good idea.
Everybody wins.
You know how we all get if
I
we
know,
don't
like,
have a
what-
winner.
tell me.
Jason.
Well, no, I'm not going to win. There's no chance I'm going to win this game show. There's no chance I could possibly win this game show.
Harley Quinn
You
won.
swear?
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You
Oh
swear
my
that?
Lord.
You swear to that?
I swear.
Swear to me. Okay.
See, you bring up Harley Quinn every episode.
No, I just- I just
only
do it to
bring
be
up
funny.
Wonder Woman every episode.
I just do it because it upsets certain people.
And I feel good.
Well, he has to keep doing it. It has to keep him relevant.
That's right.
All right, so let's get to the game show.
Hey.
Here we go.
All right.
So
Kaj,
what?
How do you feel?
I feel okay.
Oh,
Aw.
you're killing all the drinkers right now.
that you have to drink orange juice for that. All right, so
Good.
1 point. Here we go.
And vodka.
What are the famous artistic names that make up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Dub.
Okay, let's go with Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, and Michelangelo.
Excellent.
Teenage
Just 1
Mutant
point, not
Ninja
4 points.
Turtles,
Courtney?
Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo.
Boom.
Teenage Mutant Ninja and Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Okay,
Turtles.
that's their group name.
Heroes
What
on
is
Half
Donatello, Raphael, Leonardo, Michelangelo.
excellent? How
Heroes
about you,
on a
Jason?
half shell.
Those four: Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello.
Excellent. See, everybody has a point.
That's the only
fantastic.
point I'm gonna get.
Now, question 2. What is the middle initial of
G.
Tiberius.
I knew which one that was.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, is Captain Kirk a vigilante?
No, he is completely within the law.
Yes.
All right, so
He goes against the Prime Directive.
point number 2. What is the full name of the 1982 Pontiac Trans Am that was the other half of Michael Knight's Knight Rider? Dub.
Knight Industries 2000.
Correct. Courtney.
I just knew Kit Car. That's it.
Kit Car.
KITT. That's it.
Sean.
KIT. Keep it together. Keep it together. KIT.
Keep it together. Keep it together. There's
Keep it
no
together
giant
totally.
foot
There's 2
trying
teams.
to squash me.
Keep it together.
Just give me a high five right now, Courtney.
Yes.
I put Knight Industries Technology.
though it feels like I make
Ooh. Honestly, when I thought of this before I actually saw the answer, I thought it was 3,000, not 2,000. So, yeah. All right. Hey, Tub, you're in the lead.
Woo! There is a miracle every now
Not
and
for
again.
long.
Oh,
Nope.
I'm not getting any
So,
of this.
question number 3, 1 point as well. Who hired Frank Castle, a.k.a. the Punisher, to take out Spider-Man in his very first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man number 129? Dub.
I'm wrong, and I know why I'm wrong because I was thinking somebody else, but it was King. It was not Kingpin, but that's who
You
I
are
put.
incorrect. Courtney,
Mysterio.
you are incorrect. Sean?
Kaj's mom. That's literally my answer on the paper. Kaj's mom.
My mother is a vigilante, yes.
Half point. Half a point.
No.
Creativity points?
So it's- I give you 0.1.
I'll take it.
All right, Jason.
I put Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
That is incorrect. It was the Jackal.
The Jackal.
The Jackal.
That was my second guess.
Well,
Oh,
I was actually thinking first appearance of Tombstone, and that's who hired Tombstone. That's what. Yeah.
All I can think about is that if I win
whatever
this
whatever
by
you need to do,
0.1.
whatever helps you sleep at night. All
I
right,
got a
so,
point, though, so you're not. Oh, yeah, we both won.
Question 4, which is now a 2-point question. What is the iconic revolver that is carried by Inspector Dirty Harry? And what ammunition did he use in said weapon?
I just know it's a 357 Magnum, but I don't know. There was a name.
Actually, you're wrong on both.
Or is it? Dang it. I was close.
And you being the gun person.
I'm not the only gun person at this table.
Courtney?
Colt 45?
Incorrect.
I have no idea. I was going to say that or Super Soaker.
Okay, no.
When I want to party with the ladies, I bring out the Colt 45.
No idea.
All right, Sean?
It is a Model 29 44 Magnum.
That is correct. Smith & Wesson Model 29, 44 Remington Magnum cartridge.
Who did the 357?
My dad had one. Not the 357.
Shots got
My dad had
two.
both.
See,
Well,
it was
I know
I-
somebody
Most
carried
powerful handgun in the
357,
world.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I wrote the 44 Magnum.
I will give you 1 point for the ammunition. Because it's a Smith & Wesson 29.
Excellent. Okay.
All right. Question 5, which I think in comparison to everything is the favorite question of this game show.
Not for me, but go ahead.
The story of Kitty Genovese is a tragic one in where bystanders do nothing when a crime is being committed. What two pop culture vigilantes were inspired by this to wage war on crime? Dub.
That would be Boondock Saints.
And
I didn't know there was a second one.
I said what two?
Oh, I thought
got
Boondock Saints,
one?
both of them.
You're going to kick yourself, too.
I probably will.
Okay. Courtney?
Connor and Murphy.
Who?
The
What?
Boondock Connor and Murph. The
Boondock Saints?
Yeah, Boondock.
That's
That's
it?
one.
That's it? Not going for 2?
Unless you're thinking of Rocco.
No.
But yeah, no.
Okay. Do you want?
Well, Dub said I wasn't allowed to beard splain. So. Was it the Boondock Saints and El Duce?
No. You have one. One of them is correct. The other one is not.
Wasn't yeah.
No, it's Boondock
Oh,
Saints.
okay.
That
yeah.
I consider all that Boondock Saints.
Okay, then can I amend my answer because I didn't know that?
Okay, sure.
It's
Boondock Saints and
the detective, Willem Dafoe.
incorrect. I'll give you one.
Why
He's
can't I
thinking the
remember
same
his
movie.
name?
There must be a different movie that they
Yes.
had this.
Okay.
I can't think of a second movie.
I did not put the Boondock Saints because I'm not as familiar with that as everyone at this table.
You need to watch that movie.
I
That's
put Batman.
Commit parts
That
to
is
memory.
incorrect. I am sorry.
Okay.
Now I gotta. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Genovese.
So what was the other one?
So the two pop culture vigilantes are the Boondock Saints and Rorschach from The Watchmen.
Was that the same name?
The fabric that he got for the dress was Kitty Genovese. Yes, was from Kitty Genovese.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Wow,
You should
that
see
is a
Dub's face
great
right
pick.
now.
You know what?
Hats off. I'm impressed.
I know.
That
I was
awesome.
going to say I'm even okay with like not getting that correct.
You know what,
Now I got
Kaj?
that
You
info.
win the game show because of that.
See.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
All right. So, another 2-point question, question 6. The Ghost Rider has many archaic tools and tricks of the trade to extract vengeance. But what is his ultimate attack, and what does it do? Dub?
Something that sucks your soul out. I don't know.
That is incorrect. Would you know what the... No. All right. Courtney?
Okay, it's the penitence stare.
Oh, that was the one.
That is
Penance.
correct.
Penance.
The
Yeah,
penance
he
stare?
can look into your eyes and
Takes your soul.
knows if you're bad. He says
He
you're
knows
a
if you're
judge.
bad or he knows if you're bad or
You
good.
are judge.
So be
So
good
it's,
for
yeah,
goodness sake.
so it's Santa Claus with a skull.
Right, like he takes your soul to hell if you're bad.
The power is incorrect, but the name is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Sean?
It's called the Flaming Jalapeno, and it takes you to Flavor Town.
Is he on a stick?
Oh, man. I wish I was giving points for creativity because that was good.
You'll get
Jason.
another participation trophy at the end of this game show.
Now he's up to .002.
It's the penance stare,
Yes.
and it brings all of your guilt crushingly to the surface for you to face.
That is
right.
correct. Yes. It brings all the pain that you have inflicted on others and brings it to the surface so that you feel it.
I
Yes.
knew he looked at him and did something with it.
Yay, Jason. Hey, Dub.
Yeah.
You're not in the lead anymore.
No.
Oh, this is too much fun. All right, so question 7. Now, this one's going to be a lot of points, so you can catch up very quickly on this one. Name the 4 ex-military operatives that, if you were in trouble, and you can find them, that would make up the A-Team. So we're going to give 1 point for each character name that you give, and we're going to give 1 point for each of the actors' names that you can give. Dub.
Okay, we have B.A. Baracus, which was played by Mr. T.
1, 2,
We have Face, and I have no idea who played that.
3,
We have Hannibal, who was George Papard, wasn't it?
5.
And Crazy Murdoch, and I don't remember what his who played him.
6 points. Very good.
Okay,
Courtney?
so I have BA,
1,
played by Mr. T,
2.
and I have Face, played
3.
by Starbuck.
I can't give you Starbuck. I can't give you
I
Starbuck.
don't know the actor's name, but
Oh, give her Starbuck.
Okay.
No, 'cause it might-
She's not gonna win.
I'm not going to win.
I don't know.
I might.
Sean.
Face Hannibal Murdoch, B.A. Baracus, played by Mr. T.
Okay. Oh my God. You got 5. Yes. Excellent.
Hannibal, played by George Papard.
2,
B.A. Baracus, played by Mr. T.
4,
Face, played by Dirk Benedict.
6.
Murdoch, played by Dwight Schultz.
I did not know that.
Clean sweep. Very good. I don't even have to say him now. Yep. He got every single one of them.
Starbuck, I was right.
Fantastic. Starbucks a coffee.
He's also a fighter pilot.
It's just a fighter pilot. All right, and for our bonus question now, we want to do something a little bit different on this one. So I have a number, and what I want you guys to do is get closest. Whoever's closest to this number is going to get 5 points, and then for each person that's off, you get 4, 3, 2. Okay, so. According to Stephen Wacker, which I think is a brilliant name for the editor of The Punisher, that is amazing. How many people has the Punisher, Frank Castle, terminated in his comic book series?
$1. No, 41,826.
All right.
45,000, Bob?
Oh, that is such a $1 answer.
All right, Sean.
No whammies. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and Jason.
18,956, Bob.
Okay, so here let me calculate that all up. Okay.
Drum roll.
Ding. All right, so in 4th place is Jason, so you get 2 points.
Nice.
In 3rd place is Sean, who gets 3 points. Number 2 is Dub. In
Oh, you are so
second
cheap.
place. And Courtney was the closest with 45,000. It is actually 48,502.
Showcase Showdown.
I'm going to Bermuda!
All right, so talk amongst yourselves so I can point. There's a lot of points on this one. So
Yabba-dabba-dabba-doo-ba-dup.
I didn't win, so there I just...
I don't know.
No, it's pretty.
It's pretty close.
All right, as the tally is placed in, we have Sean with 11 points.
Woohoo!
We have Courtney with 12 points.
Woohoo!
We have Dub with 13 points. And by 1 point,
No way.
Jason wins the game show.
I would
Oh,
have won
my.
if you wouldn't have dollared me on that one. I'm just saying.
I had it written down first.
So are you
So
saying
there.
for the second week in a row, I have won the game show?
Pure
No,
luck, dude.
actually, you did not win it because he
You-
won it with the Rorschach.
He really did win it with a Rorschach.
You won the game show, but it doesn't mean it's right. I feel somebody should take the law in their own hands. No,
No, I'm vigilante justicing this one after that Rorschach thing.
I feel like we all should be ashamed that we didn't get Rorschach.
No, was so brilliant. I mean,
That was good.
and I'm not kissing
That was
butt. That
good.
was just
Nah.
genius.
That's like
I
You're
just
just
love when
mad
we
because you didn't get Boondock Saints.
I actually saw Sean's face when I was actually saying this question when we during the pre-show, and you just see this grin. He's like, hey,
I had
know
it too.
This one.
Well, I thought you had two
Because
Oh, yeah, I
vigilantes.
see
I'm
what
like,
you mean.
okay.
Because
We
Boondock
thought you
Saints is,
meant-
That's
the
two different
brothers.
vigilantes.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you meant Connor and Murph.
PB,
Did not think that
Yes.
through.
I'm glad you won.
Oh.
Friendship. Wow.
Vigilante friendship.
Okay, speaking of vigilantes, since that's where we're supposed to be at anyway, and we love talking about the psychological ramifications. What is the psychosis of a vigilante? Most important
Psychotic.
question, do they ever want to be done?
no.
I think they want
No.
to. I just don't think they're
They can't.
physically possible. I don't think they're mentally possible.
I think they will always find a reason to keep stealing from the rich
It's-
to give to the poor, to keep trying to, kill the bad guys, to keep, whatever injustice that they believe is why they do their thing. They don't want to lose who they are, and they would.
It's explained many times in many movies that it's like you see the person that's just trying to do just do whatever it takes to make sure that the job gets done. And then there's always that character that's like, but what happens after that? You kill the person that has wronged you, or kill the person that has taken your family or taken everything from you, and then what's there left? There's an empty hole, and how are you going to replace all the feelings that you had?
They wrap so much of their identity into this persona, into this vigilante. They can't stop.
They can't stop. No.
You know, I here's the thing: is I'm gonna dive deep on the character stuff here. So first of all, are we far enough past the end of Game of Thrones that we can spoiler?
Yes.
Or no.
Yes.
Oh, we're way past that.
Okay. I don't know what the respectable amount of time is to wait, but the whole speech that Tyrion Lannister gives to Jon Snow about Daenerys, like I think at that point that was some vigilante justice going on
Yep.
for her, and the whole speech that he gives him about the fact that she won't stop. And that she's driven by this thing to free these slaves, and now she likes what she does, and
she's become the slaver.
She's not going to stop, right? So, but the other thing that I can think of is there are many, it's almost a trope sometimes where there will be the bad guy that no one can get, and there will be, the kid that he wronged or something like that, and then the dad shows up in the last scene, shoots the guy, and then just surrenders to the cops. You know what I mean? So I think that as weird as this sounds, if it's a person who is their own singular identity that becomes a vigilante, that person can stop. But if someone is a vigilante, if that's part of their identity, no, they can't. They're always going to seek the next wrong to right.
Well, do you think it might be just there's use cooking terms, like there's a marination, like a marinating part section to it, like if it's depending on how much time there is, like if the person does you wrong, and if it's like after a month you get your justice, then you can stop. But if it goes on for years or even decades, and then you finally, because you've wanted to, it's been in your psyche for so long that once they finally get your justice, like, well, now I don't know what to do with myself.
Well, I think there is some logic to that, but I think what's actually the most important, really the morality tale that they've been trying to tell in this since the beginning, is it's not, you don't always get what you want. Let's say you won the lottery, and you've been thinking about winning the lottery for your whole life. That's all you've ever wanted, and then you win the lottery, and you're not happy, and it's not what you thought. So you're going to be trying for something else.
Sure, yeah.
You're never going to be sad. It's never going to be as satisfying as you want it to be.
But my
brain is writing cross-universe fan fiction in which the Punisher is like, I've been focused on revenge for so long, I don't know what else to do. And Carrie always is like, you'd make an excellent Dread Pirate Roberts.
Okay, you know what? Everything I said about not making a remake, that works. I am in. Okay, so let's. I'm sorry, guys. We got to move to the listener feedback.
And now, let's see what all of our geek rock stars have to say.
For our listener feedback today, we asked who is your favorite vigilante, and that you might. How do I word this? That you might
Invite to
identify with, and why. So first off, I want to do the Instagram did one, and I don't have it up, but Courtney
now
does.
are we calling some authorities after you read this list on some of these answers?
No, we're all.
No.
Oh, okay.
I edited everybody out that did that.
Okay, so we did have one response on Instagram from our good friend Satomi Hoffman.
Yay!
Hey, Satomi, yay! And she said Malcolm Reynolds, Captain Tight Pants himself. Basically, she said it's complicated.
I want to
And
hear
that's
why.
all that we got.
And honestly, I wouldn't
tried
usually
to-
let that go, but it's Instagram.
I
so-
tried to eke an answer out of her, but she wasn't giving it up to me.
Fair enough. Okay, so for our Twitter people, we have the @podcast, our buddy Dino. At the risk of sounding like a complete nutbag, Rorschach. Ideally, justice would be black and white. And if you don't identify at least a little bit with Rorschach, I think there's something wrong with you.
Well, he was
really do.
always. I know he was inspired by the question, but he
Well,
he was
Question
always
inspired by him.
Well, yeah, okay, right. But he was always like, if Batman would go completely over the edge,
That would be him.
Rorschach.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
Batman. He would have been Batman before he saw the little girl.
Right.
Yeah. Well, true, yeah. That's kind of like with Rorschach. Like you see the arc of like a hero, anti-hero go to vigilante, or vice versa.
To anti-hero, yeah.
That you see him where he's like he tries to do good, and then sees something so horrific that he's like, nope, I have to become darker than the people I'm chasing.
Well, he became a zealot.
Yeah, he became like the just like the dark side of justice, basically. Yeah.
At the Green Korean, our buddy Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, we keep trying to get that Doctor Who thing scheduled, and we miss it every time. Anyway.
Well, maybe he'll come around. Vegas every once in a
He's
while.
always around.
I know
Come
that.
on, jeez. No, it's just getting us together.
Right.
So he said, Batman, he is tormented by injustice and on a non-stop crusade to right wrongs. I think he's justified because he tries to work within the law. He doesn't execute, only apprehends. But why? Why drink a non-alcoholic beer? I mean, if you're gonna do it, go for it. That's kind of my thoughts.
We've already done a psychology on Batman show,
but
I kind of I struggle with not thinking Batman is actually a bad guy in some ways.
Yeah,
because he keeps letting him go.
Yeah, I think that's worse.
That's
honestly.
what makes him an anti-hero.
Right. He's killed more people because he keeps letting the Joker go.
I mean, talk about guilt by association guy. That's him.
Mm-hmm.
You totally should read the White Knight series.
I did.
That. Yeah.
Well, because remember when he was laughing at the train that didn't exist? Okay. From Facebook, Carl the Black Geek said the Lone
Carl
Ranger.
the Black Geek. I love Carl.
We miss you, Carl.
Or Bleak.
What? No, the Geek Black, I think, was the last one. That sound like? I said Lone Ranger. He was the original out for justice masked lawman with a sidekick. I thought he was still a ranger, though.
I thought he was a ranger or marshal. Wasn't he
He was a
U.S.
marshal.
Well, Lone Ranger would probably mean.
When he put on the mask,
he
though,
became a vigilante.
he became a vigilante.
Yeah. That's why
absolutely.
he did it. He hid his identity with
I
the
didn't
mask
remember
because
which-
he was on the right side of the law.
Right.
My buddy Skeeter Thompson said Mark Hamill's Trickster. He played the egomaniacal villain, and he just loved it. Or Grodd. I don't know why he said Grodd, but he identifies with Grodd.
Okay.
Love you, Skeet. Todd, the voice of the show, said V from the graphic novel / movie, V for Vendetta. Pushed over the line from being systematically abused beyond the pale. V uses his intellect in order to apply well-planned violence against his abusers' oppressors. I can dig it. I didn't like what he did to innocent people psychologically. It was gross.
Right.
That's just me. And finally, Daniel Houston, the most justified, it might be a cliche answer, and this one's going to start some conversation, but I got to go with Frank Castle. He not only goes after the people who murdered his family, he goes after all the other evil people and organizations stupid enough to get his attention. He does go too far sometimes, but the recipients of his ruthlessness are unredeemable and deserve every bit of it.
Let me add one thing to that. There is a crossover comic. You have it in your possession right now, and it is The Punisher and Batman. And the illustrating point of both these guys is in the panel when they had beaten the Joker and the Punisher as the Joker. And he says, I've got all the therapy you need right here. And he's got the gun. He puts it to Joker's head. And Joker's like, you're really going to do this, aren't you? And before Castle can pull the trigger, Batman stops him.
Okay.
And Punisher gets all in his business about how, you are not about justice. You keep letting these guys go. You do this, you do that. And he punches Batman, but of course Batman's a better hand-to-hand fighter, so Batman pretty much smacks him around. Okay. And Punisher's like, you're not a hero. He's on the ground bleeding from the... And he's like, you're not a hero. Don't even pretend you are, So yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
So yeah, the Punisher thing is such an interesting, he is unchecked. If you don't have a morality, if you are evil, I mean, he's Rorschach. He is. If you are evil, you're going to die. Mm-hmm. If you've done something bad enough, in my opinion, and he doesn't kill every person that's stolen stuff. He doesn't kill every drug dealer. But basically, if they've killed, I don't know what the number of people has to be, but he will go after them at a certain point.
Well, even if it's just wrong, like Rorschach is like, if it's wrong, like even at the end of The Watchmen, you know, he's
He had
like,
to kill himself.
I'm going to tell the world about this.
I don't want to, but I will have to.
No. He said, no, I don't care. I will not bend, even in the face of death. I will do what's right, or I will do what I feel is justified, and that's why they had to take him out.
Even though he knew it was wrong to do it, he knew the better answer, but he could not force himself otherwise.
Right, but he was right, because in the new Watchmen, the Doomsday Clock thing, you find out that they find out Ozymandias did it, and then. Now we're in a worse state than what we were before. So yeah.
So yeah, he can't justify good people doing bad things. Now, but he wouldn't be able. Rorschach would not be able to put up with the Punisher either. I don't think.
Why? Why do you see that one?
Because Rorschach can't even let someone have their cancer drugs because it's not tested by the FDA. Do you think he can handle? Well, you're not going by the courts at all. I think he wants to kill himself because he can't be that hypocrite. He was waiting to die that whole time.
That's right. Yeah.
Ooh, we need to do another Watchmen episode. Okay, so let's move on to the main event.
Now it's time for the main event.
Main event today, we are doing our top 5 vigilantes across all of pop culture. And actually, you know what? We do our list beforehand, and I am really impressed with some of your guys' list. You went way outside of the box. I'm really impressed. So my number 5 is going to be Jonah Hex, the original hardcore John Wayne / Clint Eastwood
Cybernetic cowboy.
Well, he's not cybernetic.
He isn't?
No,
At all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe when he comes back from the future.
I thought he
future
had
times?
some of that
No, he's
in
just
him.
got the acid on his face.
Oh, okay.
But really interesting character. But he is when you say vigilante, I like that cowboy thought of vigilante.
Sure.
So that's kind of why I picked him.
Nice.
Not the movie. Don't watch that piece of garbage. Sorry.
So weird because such a good cast.
Oh man, but just go wrong in every single way.
Right.
Maybe it's a bad director.
Might be it. My number 5 is Zorro, the fox.
He makes the sign of
Zorro.
or also known as the Robin Hood of the Salinas. He is, he's literally known as, he's based on Robin Hood. All right, interestingly enough. And he is your swashbuckling kind of dual-faced hero. Like you like him.
And has the ultimate alter ego name, which is amazing.
Don Diego de la Vega.
Don Diego de la Vega.
And what movie was it that the Wayne family was going to see when they were gunned down in
With
Crime
Douglas-
Alley?
Zorro.
Deflator Mouse.
With
Not-
Doug, it
what?
would have been the Mark of Zorro because the Mask of Zorro is the Antonio Banderas one,
Oh, okay.
The Mark of Zorro.
with Douglas Fairbanks.
Now, I got to say this about Zorro, which is something I find kind of interesting, especially in our
Tombstone.
society today. When I was a kid growing up, what was great about Zorro, I know it's a big deal that he was Hispanic and all that. I never realized he was Hispanic. He was a hero. That, to me, is how they need to do heroes.
Well,
period. You don't care what race or anything. It's because it's the essence of hero.
He's a Spaniard. And that's the thing. He's like, what it is it's the dichotomy between because it takes place in California. But he is of the upper echelon. So he is the Spaniard. He is the noble. So he's not Latino. He's Hispanic is the blanket term for everyone, but he's a Spaniard and he protects the Latinos of the community.
But,
so, I mean,
but
that's
as
where
with the
that's
blanket
different.
of it all, I
Yeah.
never realized it. And as I say, that is refreshing. That's something. An idea that old is very refreshing.
And I liked how I remember Zorro before Antonio Banderas was the Disney
The
segments
best ones.
of them.
Oh yeah.
The Adventures of
yeah,
Zorro.
and you're right. It kind of blurred that lot. Like it didn't matter what what race or creed it was. It was just a well written show about people that were being wronged by the.
There's been a lot of incarnations about Zorro, which is really kind of cool. And the newest one that's coming out in the comics, and it's I believe it's Dynamite. It's a
Dynamite does
crossover.
everything, yeah.
It's a crossover. It's Zorro and Django.
Interesting.
We might be talking about that at Comics Corner. I don't know.
Nice.
Well, you should know by next week. Actually, by the time this show comes
Yeah.
out, you better know.
My number 5 is The Crow.
My
such a
favorite
good
Halloween
movie.
costume ever.
Yeah, it's
Well, because it had long flowing hair.
I had that at the time.
That was almost one of the questions you guys were going to get.
yeah.
Like who embodied the Crow, and what was his band's top number one song?
It Can't Rain All the Time
Rain
by
All the Time.
Hangman's Joke.
Yeah, and what's his name?
Huh? Eric Draven.
There you go.
You get
Do
no
I get my points? Do I
No.
get my points? Do I get to be Jason now?
And I'm the desperate one.
And but then you can extract vigilante justice for it.
All right, well, that covers that.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, but the Crow was a great character all the way around. I mean, just the cool look,
Yeah.
the definite reason for being a vigilante. I mean, he didn't have a choice. He was dead.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just, and it's also, it's that was another one of those movies that was in comics that was genre defining. You know, so just really enjoy
Agreed.
it. Yeah.
Excellent. My number 5 is a little bit of an obscure one, but I think in this panel they might remember this guy. Do you remember Spencer for Hire? Mm-hmm. There was a character played by Avery Brooks, or oh god, what's his name in the Deep Space Nine?
Captain something. Or no, he went a commander. Or he's commander something.
Oh god, I can't think.
He never made captain.
I got to give back my Star Trek card. Sorry, Carl. But he also
Carl's
played
yelling
Hawk.
at you right now.
Yeah, he was Hawk from Spencer for Hire, and I just remember just like very slick, had the trench coat, bald head, and he'd just come up and be like, "What's up, Spencer?"
He was Shaft.
Yeah, it was straight. Yeah, and just like Spencer would be like, "Oh, let's do this." He's like, "No, let's just go down, break down the door, and just wipe everybody out. We're fine."
We all
Loved it.
good.
Yeah, we feel good.
So I'm going to pull a Kaj.
Captain
and-
Cisco. Thank you.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm going to pull a Kaj and switch up my number 5. I had the Three Musketeers,
Okay.
and I still think that's a valid
candy
one.
bar?
But
It is.
no, but the valid one. But you said Spaniard, Geeky Page, and thus Inigo Montoya becomes my number
Yep.
5.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Well, but he doesn't hit the definitions that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, he does.
Once he got his justice, he was satisfied.
But
But he's
still was
going
a
to, but
vigilante
he's,
up to that
and he's
point.
going to become the Dread Pirate Roberts.
But the
So
pirate thing is a little.
No, he's going to continue the life of the adventure. I'm not. Did we
Adventure
ever
is one thing.
determine that all anti-hero or all vigilantes have to keep going? They
No.
can't be a vigilante in the moment.
Yeah, we talked to we never really
We never
defined
defined
that.
it.
It was just a point of discussion. So I'm all for
Okay.
that, man.
Yeah.
I
No, I like it.
No
I'd
good.
like to argue.
Known
with
too
you.
many Spaniards.
Very good. Yeah, that was a great
I like
call.
that one.
No, they better never remake that.
No, never.
My number
Never.
my number 4 is one just my favorite space biker in history, Lobo.
Nice.
I mean, and there's nothing good about him. He is just a dirtbag.
But he falls into vigilante.
Yeah. Well, assassin.
I mean, he's just a bad guy.
He's just a
well,
he definitely has his own brand of justice.
and
okay.
like bounty hunter, dead
Yeah.
or alive. Yeah, I could see
He
that.
he will go after bad guys if he's paid.
And will blow up an entire
a
planet just
mercenary.
to get him. Yeah.
It may not hit our definition because it's not an emotional thing. It is.
It's probably more
completely just-
mercenary than
Yeah.
vigilante.
But I'm still gonna take it because hey, anytime we
Yeah.
talk about Lobo, I'm good.
He
Nice.
doesn't
The main
go with-
man.
The main man.
He doesn't agree with authority.
He will respect my authority.
Yeah.
So my number 4 knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. It's the shadow.
Does it
Also
get
known
dark
as
in here?
Lamont Cranston, clouds men's
Not the movie.
minds.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean he is Batman before Batman was invented. He's your bon vivant by day, and he's the shadow at night. And he used, he clouds men's minds. He didn't have superpowers. Don't watch the movie because that's just a bunch of bunk.
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. But he would. Yeah, the movie's terrible. Don't watch the movie. But yeah, he was your.
Although Tim Curry is.
I don't know. I mean, one of the first starts of the Playboy superhero.
Yeah,
Well, I think
Playboy
Bruce
by
Wayne is
day, dark
definitely-
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
night person, incarnation. Yeah,
absolutely.
totally.
So
My number 4 is Creasy from Man on Fire, played by Denzel Washington.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that movie, and I think the reason that I wanted to mention is because he's brutal, and that was at the time when Taken had come out, and I remember everyone making just big deal about Taken and how I can't believe everything that he did, and I was like, did you watch Man on Fire? Because Liam Neeson was like a Boy Scout in that movie compared to Greasy, and it was just a really well done movie, and I don't think it got as much hype as it deserved. So he's high up there. It's just he was a remarkable vigilante in that movie.
Excellent. Nice.
All right, so my number 4 has been mentioned in the game show. One Michael Knight in Knight Rider.
Excellent.
Interesting.
No.
Fair enough.
The face
Yeah,
alone made that
I mean,
word.
it's more of an upscale vigilante. I mean, he had
Does that make Kit a vigilante too?
a vigilant car.
Kit's a car.
A vigilante.
He's a weapon.
I'm pretty sure vigilantes should actually be
Well,
human.
yeah. Well, I mean, that would be. I don't know, because Flag or Knight Industries, would that be? Is that a vigilante corporation?
SHIELD.
Or true, or just?
Hydra.
But SHIELD, I
they're
wouldn't
not the
consider
law.
to be.
They're not the law, but it's they see these bad guys and then they tell him to go after them.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he's not necessarily maybe. I don't know.
You know what? If we want to stretch the definition, we'll take it.
I got another one here. Dude, keep going. That's fine.
All right, my number 4 is 2 men that are on a mission from God.
We're on a
Jake
mission from
and Elwood Blues, the Blues Brothers, who I think, again, a little bit out of the box on the vigilante thing, but what they did in that movie was absolute vigilante brilliance.
It's pretty fantastic.
car chase scene.
They're amazing. When I woke up this morning, I heard a disturbing sound.
We're on a mission from God.
They're on a mission from God.
Let's see, where are we? Number 3, I'm pulling a Kosh. It was originally Swamp Thing, because I think that's a pretty good answer. But there's somebody that we forgot, and I have to put him on somewhere. But John Wick is my current favorite
Nice.
vigilante.
Completely
Good call.
forgot about him.
Good call.
Just, I mean, you can watch the whole movie without any vocal anything. You just hear the gun bang and you get it. It's like watching a video game. But it's fantastic. They killed my dog.
Well, that's what it is. It's like, oh my gosh, he's so egregious. He's killing everybody left and right. Why is he doing this? They killed his dog.
I get it.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm in.
good. Yeah,
Understandable. Yeah, it's interesting. I didn't watch the John Wick franchise until the third one came out and everyone was freaking out, and then I went back and watched both the movies, and then the next day went to see 3 and loved it.
Nice.
My number 3 is Daredevil.
Oh,
What's
so good.
What's not
Right.
to love about a blind ninja kicking everybody's butt?
Right. That's a lawyer. That will
Well,
sue
it's
you
a
afterwards.
Right, like
yeah,
he's a
lawyer
lawyer.
by day.
What's not to love? The movie.
We don't talk about that.
How about Electra?
We don't talk about that either. That's been supplanted by the TV show,
Absolutely.
the good TV show.
I don't
Cox
like
is
the
a
fact
great
that they made him
Daredevil.
bad, though. I don't like to go bad.
I haven't watched season 3 yet. So
No. I'm talking about the comics.
Oh, in the
In
comics,
the current
yeah.
comics, he's gone
I like it.
foul.
Yeah, we talked about it in Comics Corner. I kind of dig it.
right.
No gods, only devils.
Yeah.
is the run right now. And
Yeah.
I dig it.
All right.
dig it.
Right on. My number 3, I have to do it. I'm every time I find a way to work a character in from this series, John Constantine.
Nice.
Yeah, Constantine. I mean, it's just like he's just so classy. It's just awesome. And it's also the little things. There's the one moment where I think it's his niece that's getting mixed up with the guy who's telling her that he's in the dark arts, and John Constantine grabs him and makes up a few words in Latin, and the guy freaks out and never talks to her again. It's the little things.
Well, I mean, and I could even put him on just another level, another echelon, because there's going against the law, but then there's going against
God.
heaven and hell, and the laws of religion. He's I'm gonna just check all the boxes here. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, being addicted to heroin.
All right, so I'm going to pull a Codge too, and I'm going to switch. Well,
We have coined the term.
so my number 3 is an obvious one, Deathstroke, but I'm going to switch it up because I just remembered this guy. Let's go back a few years and let's go into the realm of William Foster or Michael Douglas in Falling Down.
Good
Where
call.
he just has
He had a
one
bad
thing
day.
after another, just has a bad day, and then the guy just snaps and just goes after everybody that wrongs him.
Yeah, now Joel Schumacher deserves a lot of slapping around for Batman, but for that movie,
For Falling
he gets
Down,
a lot of credit.
We give him a pass on that one because that movie was excellent.
The greatest
Yes.
line in that movie, "I'm the bad guy."
Yeah, right.
Absolutely stunning. The way that worked. That's awesome. Yes. My number 3 is not the television version, which is a piece of crap. It's the comic version.
Tell me what you really think. Don't hold
It's-
back.
Right. It's the comic version, which is an awesome black and white cowboy sensibility hero, vigilante in The Preacher, Jesse Custer.
One of the greatest comics ever made.
Yep. And one of the best
TV shows.
pure, yeah, exactly. No, one of the best pure examples of a more heroic leaning vigilante. But
It's John Wayne in today's world.
it's John Wayne in today's world.
Okay, you're gonna shoot me for this, but
Yes, I am.
who's the other guy? Who's with the hand of God or the
He is the hand.
He's
no
the voice of
the
God?
other guy?
Cassidy, the vampire.
No, the loner that comes out. That's got the
The other cowboy?
is that his name?
Santa Killers.
Yes, Santa Killers. Yes, wouldn't he? Was he kind of
No.
he works
no.
directly for the devil.
Yeah, no, he works directly for
Spoiler.
well, he was the Angel of Death.
If you haven't read it by now,
No,
come
he's
on now.
he's the new Angel
Yeah.
of Death,
Which is working for-
He kind of eventually sort of goes into the anti-hero realm a little bit, but no, not a vigilante.
He gets
Okay.
he gets forgotten about too fast. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Good call.
I just
that's
did.
beautiful. Okay, what are we now? Number 2.
Yeah.
Somebody we've discussed already today, and I feel bad for saying it, but absolutely Rorschach. Mm-hmm. You know, I get it.
quintessential vigilante.
great.
Yeah.
You know, he is. Let's cut out the BS of we're gonna limit ourselves. Nope, we're gonna do what we need to do. Nothing else. That's just what is right.
See,
and
this
what
is a
right.
good example of the Dungeons and Dragons alignments because Jesse Custer is chaotic good. Rorschach is chaotic neutral, bordering on evil for sure.
Yeah.
Would he be?
I would
Because
say
he's
lawful
doing what's
evil.
right all the time.
I'd say lawful evil because he
well,
tried.
lawful neutral, bordering on evil.
Yeah. That because he feels his law is what he's done what's right, but he'll do some evil things to make sure that they get justice.
Right. Yeah.
Fair enough.
My number 2 is the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Don't you mean Pumpernickel?
No, I mean Pimpernel. He's not a loaf of bread.
Pimple.
Pumpernickel.
A literary hero first, and then
Good call,
there
by the
was-
way.
thank
That's
you.
a deep dive.
And then there was some TV shows, and there was some serial films, and he's kind of still loved. And there was a musical that was made not too long ago. Same kind of feel as say Robin Hood and Zorro. But I mean, in his case, he's saving French aristocrats from the guillotine. So is he really doing good, or is he being true to nobility?
I just
It's
want to know
interesting
when
way to
he's
look
hanging
at
out by himself, does he go, "My name is so stupid. How did I get this moniker?"
Sir Percival
I am
Blakely?
vengeance.
No, the Scarlet Pimpernel.
I am the Pimpernel.
I am,
Yeah,
I am
I mean,
vengeance.
how do
I
you-
am
Yeah.
a loaf of bread.
I'm
I
gonna-
am the Pumpernickel.
He has a signet
Throw
ring.
fear into my enemies. I am the
He-
Scarlet Pimpernel.
He has a signet ring. That's where it comes from.
Oh.
In the book, he's given a signet ring, which is part of being Sir Percival Blakely.
So when he goes,
Sir
I'm a-
Percy.
So when he goes, "I'm Scarlet Pimpernel," and the villains go, does he show
Well,
them the ring and then they run?
No.
I get it.
Most of the time, because he uses disguise. He's a master of disguise. So half the time, they don't even. I mean, occasionally, he's Sir Percy most of the time. But when he's rescuing people, he's
Yeah,
always
because that's
has,
better.
Right. Right. He does all these disguises, and it's in. Like in the book, the one I remember is Chauvelin is chasing him, but he's chasing him as an old man, and he has no idea that he's actually got the Pimpernel right in front of him, and he's questioning him, and he lets him go, and it's not till later he realizes, oh darn it, that was the Pimpernel.
So what you're saying is he didn't peg the Pimpernel.
Ah, there you go. Yep.
Nice. All right, my number 2 is Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, do I really have to justify that? Like,
Nope.
we're all
No,
on the
that
same
fits.
page
This
here?
generation
Yeah, I
loves our
mean,
Casey Jones.
And and the other thing too is like with Casey Jones, like in the comic book, the fact he was brutal,
Yeah.
brutal in the comic book,
And so were the Turtles at the beginning.
Absolutely, and I know that in the movies that they had to soften that up a little bit. You know, they wanted to make him more likable, but I thought he was plenty likable when he was brutal. So I really dig Casey Jones. I remember when I was like younger and when I read it, I was, everyone argued over which turtle was their favorite, and I was like, Casey Jones. That's easy.
Right.
The Jason
that's
wannabe.
Yeah, so that's mine.
Awesome.
He wants to be me?
So my number 2 is a collaboration of vigilantes that seek out good justice. The A-Team.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Which we discussed earlier.
one of my Zorro was definitely one of my childhood favorites. Like I just remember growing up and watching the A-Team, and just everything they were always on the side of good, and just plenty of explosions.
And they were totally good because if you could find them.
Yeah.
And if you can afford it. But they never charged.
I know, right? So-
Yeah, how do they keep their operation
I just
going?
wonder,
They're always...
how did people find them? Was it because there's no Craigslist, there's no would they do a want ad? I can't remember how they actually found
Personals
them.
ads in
How
the back of the
cool-
penny saver.
How cool was it to watch Mr. T
the A-Team
lift
symbol?
the freaking van every week?
All right.
You'd figure they get new tires by now, but
And
I remember in grade school they actually brought the A-Team van to our school. At one
University
point.
Yeah,
CBS
yeah,
van.
yeah.
And like a bunch of the kids got to lift the
It was
van.
so cool.
Oh, how cool. Awesome. All right, so my number 2, I kind of cheated here a little bit.
What's
'cause
new?
When
Oh, wah wah.
well, I cheat in everything but the game shows that I win more than you.
Wow, that's some bitterness
There's
coming out.
seriously some bitter flying around. It's just there's a chill in the air.
I told
now.
you it's the Battle of the Bastards every show.
There's
It's a one way. I don't care.
Apparently,
There's a
this
chill in the
episode's brought to us
air.
by Haterade.
It must be delicious. Keep
Orange
drinking it.
flavor.
Rage
Lemon
Red.
pickle. Haterade. So I took Marvel and DC comic book vigilantes, and I kind of put them under one number, making them my number 2. Because, you've got the Batman and Daredevil and Moon Knight and
Oliver Queen.
Green Arrow and all of them. And they are, they're the archetypal vigilantes. They're the ones that are most identifiable to general audiences and the most people. But they are kind of their own thing, and the only reason I put them under their own umbrella was I wanted to, be out of the box a little bit. But yeah, my number 2, Marvel and DC vigilantes.
Nice. Well, that kind of encompasses my number 1, who we've done entire shows on, so I don't really need to go into it, but Deadpool, for every reason we've ever said on this. Just,
Mark with a mouth. Yep.
just
Mark with the mouth.
so much fun. I like him when he's the vigilante more than when he's the bad guy. Mm-hmm. I like him when he has some kind of
Makes
code.
me laugh. My number 1 is Robin Hood, the
Excellent.
original vigilante of them all. And what a lot of people don't understand is the original stories, he's pretty brutal. Like, he cuts off Sir Guy of Gisborne's head. That's how he kills him. He chops it off, and then he takes it and dumps it in Nottingham Castle for John to see.
As you do.
When I was writing my version of it, I was told I wasn't allowed to do that because, 1, they don't like it when women write decapitations, and 2, nobody wanted to see Robin Hood do that, but he does that. I mean, so he is the first and the original vigilante that started them all.
I don't think he does that. I think you're wrong. I think he's a fuzzy little fox.
That's my introduction.
That's what he is.
That's
And as a
a
bear as a
lot of
friend.
people's first, but yeah. The more studying you do on the character,
know,
the
I'm
more you
kidding.
see just how
I do know it's brutal. Yes.
yeah, he's dark.
Like Grimm's Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a quick honorable mention because I want to make sure that we have a vigilant her on the list, and that is Tank Girl.
Tank Girl rocks.
But
Yeah.
then I'm gonna jump right into my number 1, which is Boondock Saints. And it's because it's one of my all-time favorite
good.
movies, and just and their motivation is so pure: destroy all that which is evil, so that which is good may flourish.
You know what?
Nice.
One of the most brilliant parts of that movie is the very end, during the credits when they're interviewing people on the quote unquote on the news.
I'm ready to get busy.
You know, they're like half of them agree and half of them don't. They
Yeah.
don't
Brilliant.
really make them good or evil.
It's
I
brilliant.
And I love that. That was so smart.
And as a matter of fact, it comes back to something we were talking about earlier about whether or not the vigilantes stop. And the boys say to El Duce, how far are we going to take this down? He says, the question is not how far, it's do you have the depth of faith to go as far as is needed. So it's the same thing of like, it doesn't stop, guys, you know?
Yeah.
Yep, you're good. And this will
That's-
end when you die.
That
choice.
scene, that scene with William Dafoe doing the
dance.
putting the whole
There was a fire.
firefight.
Yes.
I suppose I ought to see that movie.
What?
Yeah.
You would love it. It's so good.
That's got to be a movie night.
All right,
Wait,
yeah.
we'll do a
Sorry,
movie
guys,
night.
we're wrapping up the podcast right now.
Yeah,
To put Boondock Saints on.
I
We'll
would
watch
stay
it.
until midnight to watch that. All right, so my number one is a classic Green Lantern that finally just had enough with the authority and the rules of the Guardians of the Universe and made his own corps. Called it the Sinestro Corps.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, Sinestro.
Is he
Because
in Vigilante?
I would
He had to
say
get Green Lantern
he
in
is a
somehow.
vigilante because he
Did what he thought for his good.
he administered his own justice aside from the Guardians.
and
of
it wasn't
the universe.
always evil.
He always
Some
questioned
was
his authority of like,
justified.
why am I having to do this when I could just eradicate them and be done with it? Yes,
he's
I
a
think
many-layered character.
I would say Sinestro would definitely be put in as a vigilante. Yes.
Okay.
Just,
Interesting.
until he got his god complex.
Then he became a arrogant vigilante. No, I don't care. Okay, my number one. Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
I have to do it.
Kaja's mom.
Oh,
That doesn't make as catchy a song.
no.
I mean, not bad.
I'd
but
listen to it.
yeah,
I was going to say
I listen.
He-Man, but all right, fine.
No, the Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, to me, when I think about brilliant creative ideas, what even resembled that before that came out? You know, that was a groundbreaking connection of imaginative things to create that. And yeah, they just, you know, when I've gone to Comic-Cons and stuff and I see the Ghostbusters cosplayers, that's the only time I really get jealous because I would love to cosplay as one of them for sure. So yeah, they are my number one.
Outstanding. So before we close it up like we usually do, we have Kaj needs to talk to us. Lend your ears.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got a little bit of an announcement here. As of today, this episode, I am going to have to take a hiatus from the show. Some family hurdles have come up, and I need to take a step back and make sure that my family comes first and is taken care of. So I will be in and out. This is not a goodbye. I'm not leaving the show permanently. It's just I need to take a step back and do a little hiatus, and I will be kind of popping in every so often. Maybe do a little video for the newscaster, or might do a game show here and there. Do some information for you guys. But yeah, I'm not going to be here as a regular here for a little bit, for a short time. So I do appreciate and love all you guys. You have been so wonderful, and like I said, I'll be back. So I don't know why I'm talking like this is a farewell because it's not. I do want to thank the fans. I do want to thank our listeners and our Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and use.com. We paid extra for it. But yes, but I shall return in the foreseeable future. Yes, I am.
Well, you will be missed. I will say that outright. You are a founder of this show, and your chemistry with the other Dub and myself, the remaining founders, is something that will be missed. So your chair will be warm for you when you come back, and the reason it's going to be warm is because I'm going to mark it
You're
the
gonna
way,
fart
I,
on
do,
it?
the way I
Okay.
do mine.
No, please don't.
So I'm going to mark it so no one will think that it's a permanent chair of theirs while you are away.
I'm going to personally warm your chair for you.
Ah,
Much better than what he's going to do to it.
Oh, gross.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Shut up.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah.
We kind of like you.
Thanks. Sean.
After he said all those nice things about it.
Yeah, all this nice
That's
stuff
it.
now. And with that being said, he's going to be back, so you're bringing
Yeah,
in
I'll
crap
be
anyway.
here. I'll be around.
Yeah, it's very temporary. We just wanted to make sure that everybody knew it's not a thing. It's just family comes first. That's what we've always said on
Yep.
this show. So check out the website www.iheartgeekshow.com. Use the com. We paid X for it. Go, thank you. Go to the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTube, the smoke signals, the
Satellite.
the
Cerebro.
the soon to be XM. I hope
Bat signal.
The bat
signal, yes.
There you go. Yeah. Go there.
To which it's Batman Day. Let's
It is.
just throw that out too. It's Batman
Even though
Day.
it's like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Whatever, but it's Batman Day.
You're
so we
wearing a
have to-
Superman shirt.
Huh? Yeah.
What does that tell you? Okay.
Batman versus Superman.
And until next time, I'm Dub.
I'm Siege.
I'm Sean.
I'm Kaj.
I am PB&Jason.
And we're going to let Kaj say this one.
Aww.
Hold on. I'm going to give you the wind blowing through the saguaros.
Keep on geeking on.
That was beautiful.
That was lovely.
Got a little misty-eyed, guys.
You've been listening to iHeartGeek. Our Twitter account is @iHeartGeekShow. Hope you enjoyed the show.